I think USC's special teams just got a little bit more special.
You are Locked On Trojans, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Fight on, everyone. I'm your host, Mark Holkin, and thank you for making Locked On USC, part of the Locked On Network, your first listen every day, whether you're going to watch this show on YouTube or wherever you want to download your podcast. Never forget the show is free, and always remember how much I appreciate your support. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. So Lincoln Riley, he added another player to this year's roster, the preferred walk-on kicker. USC landed a commitment from one of the top kickers in the nation for the 2024 class. Los Angeles, California, Chaminade kicker Ryon Sayeri. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sayeri. We're just going to call him Ryan for the time being. He announced Tuesday afternoon, this week that he's going to attend USC and he's going to be a preferred walk-on. But here's the thing. This guy's actually probably deserving of a scholarship. According to the Chris Saylor Kicking Academy, it's one of the more popular specialist ranking services. There's not that many out there, so this one is one of the more well-known ones, though. Chris Saylor considers Ryan a 6-star prospect. Yeah, not a 4-star, not a 5-star, 6. That's the designation they use for a FBS Power 5 freshman year starter scholarship pick level talent. It's a mouthful, I know. It is the highest a specialist can be ranked. Well, let me tell you something. The last time USC had a 6-star recruit sign with them, the legend of Lendak was born. Some of you will get that. If not, do a Google search, Lendak, Lendak, USC. Have fun with it. Here's just a few of Ryan's high school accolades, why USC is so interested in him. He was the 2022 Las Vegas 34 class of 2024 kickoff champion, 2022 California Spring Camp field goal champion. He was the 2022 Vegas 15 class of 2024 kickoff champion and the 2024 Adidas All-American Bowl and NBC kicker. You can actually check that out. You can see his film online. He's kicking 60-yard field goals, 60-yard plus with ease. Ryan was also, like I mentioned, he was one of the specialists that was selected to compete in the Army All-American Bowl, the former Army All-American Bowl. It's now just the All-American Bowl. They play that in Frisco, Texas. He did have a few offers out of high school, Air Force, San Diego State, and also San Jose State. Now, when Ryan spoke with WeAreSC.com, my other place when I'm not here on Locked On USC, by the way, take advantage of their subscription special right now when you're done making Locked On USC your first listen. When he spoke with WeAreSC.com, it was clear he wanted to be a Trojan above all else. So he could have had school paid for somewhere else. He wanted to be at USC. This is what he said. I've been really close with USC, and of course, being from Cali, that's the place to be. As far as recruitment went, USC was always going to be the school he was going to be looking at. There are other big name schools out there, but USC is home. It was a long journey, so I went to the past 2 summer kicking camps, and then I started getting a connection more and more, and I went to every single home game this past year, just like trying to continue building a bond with the coaches. I think it was right after the Washington game at home, they gave me the offer, and I honestly might have committed on the spot, but I still had to get accepted into the school and stuff like that. That process took like 3 or 4 months almost, but I was always in contact. I talked once or twice a week with them, and it was a really close bond. And I feel like me and Coach Ryan Doherty, that's USC's special teams coach, finger quotes, could really excel together. He's actually an analyst on the team. This is the Chris Saylor kicking evaluation. Ryon is a fantastic high school kicking prospect. He is a great-looking athlete with a live leg. He does an excellent job on field goal, a strength. He hits a clean ball off the ground, gets great lift, and has 55-plus yard range. The reason they're pointing out off the ground in high school, they still use that kicking block, that little T, for field goals. His kickoffs are also strong. D1 ready. Ryon drives the ball 65-plus yards with 4.0-plus hang time. So he's kicking it out of the back of the end zone, and it's hanging up in the air for 4 seconds or longer. He's also a very talented punter, a competitor who thrives under pressure. He has all the tools to be a phenomenal college player. I'm excited to see what the future holds. Ryon is a fine young man with a great attitude and work ethic. One of the hardest workers out there, excellent prospect. So it looks like Ryon is going to compete against Dennis Lynch, and I believe he's going to be a redshirt freshman kicker, Tyler Robles. And between those three, they're going to find Lincoln Riley is going to have to figure out who's going to handle the kicking duties in 2024. This is how Ryon approaches the competition. He's not competing against Dennis or Tyler. Quote, I don't take it as competing against other people. I'm just trying to compete against myself, really. I'm going to go there with the mentality that I just need to get better myself every day. Like the more I miss, the more I know I'm not going to get any chances. So I'm going to try and get there and work on kickoff right away. See if I can start doing kickoff, and then I'll start doing field goal. Once I perfect field goal on the college post, I feel like I could just start as soon as possible. I feel like once I get into the groove on the college post and everything like that, I feel like it'll be a huge chance, end quote. So right there, he's setting goals for himself. He knows that, hey, you know what? I need to get used to the college field goal split between the goalposts. So let me use my strong leg and see if I can win the kickoff duties. I like it. That's the perfect attitude for any player. And it has that, I don't know, kind of that Mamba mentality feel to it. He's not Kobe. I'm just saying he's just going to work as hard as he has to make sure he knows he's good enough to earn the job. So between Dennis Lynch and Tyler Robles and his killer shoes, have you ever watched Tyler? He's got probably the best looking pair of kicks on the team. And now you've got Ryon Sayeri. I would think that Coach Riley should be able to find a specialist for kickoffs and field goals as well as punting. I'm pretty sure Eddie Traplisky is going to have the punting duties on lockdown. But as you heard Chris Saylor mention, or at least his kicking academy mentioned, Ryon can handle the punting duties pretty well also. So there you go. Lincoln Riley is paying attention to special teams. I know everybody wants him to get a dedicated special teams coach, but he's explained his rationale for it. I actually agree with it. I like it, but he's now upgrading talent, bringing in more competition. So let's see what happens. Game Time is the fast and easy way for you to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from the seat, and their best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Game Time has easy to find and buy tickets because the app shows you views from all the seats in the venue. They're going to give you the lowest price guarantee, and they even have an event cancellation protection policy. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Right now, all Game Time users can use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your next purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Go to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. All right, we're going to have a little fun with a second segment here. You get to build your own USC team robot. Put your AI skills to use right now. You get the Lendak of all Lendaks, okay? If you haven't looked it up yet, you'll understand where I'm going with that. Using the last 25 years, that's the caveat. You've got the last quarter century to choose from. You get to make your best USC team from the last 25 years. So if you could build a USC football team, who are your guys? Now, what was I'm going to be completely forthright and honest. My inspiration for this, I saw one of the posters over at wearec.com. He started something, but he did it. He was calling it his all-decade team, last 10 years. I made my team better. But again, inspiration, that's where I got it from. Head coach, I think this one's a no-brainer. And again, this is why I opened it up. I didn't want to just limit it to the last decade, because if you do that, Lincoln Riley gets the job. But what if you had to choose between Lincoln Riley and Pete Carroll? Yeah, no-brainer. For the time being, Pete Carroll is USC's Lendak head coach. The offensive coordinator. I know this one is going to cause a little bit of angst for some people, but you're going to have to Rochambeau it. Norm Chow or Lane Kiffin. Or I really wanted to kind of I'll make Lincoln Riley my offensive coordinator. How's that? Defensive coordinator, again, no-brainer for me. Coach Orgeron. And let's remember, Pete Carroll is actually the guy calling the defense. But you want Coach O on the wall. You need Coach O on the wall. What I need is Coach Orgeron giving the Colonel Jessup speech to the team often. So that's my coaching staff. We could fill in all the other assistants, but that would take forever. And I don't have enough time in the show. Let's go to quarterback. We could pick one. Or we could pick the starter and the backups, which I think is probably the smart thing to do because you get hurt playing quarterback. So, Caleb Williams, Carson Palmer, or Matt Leinart? Doesn't matter. Regardless, my backup is a Heisman winner. What about running back? I thought this was going to be, actually, this one was easy. Reggie, Lendale, and then the third one was where I struggled a little bit, but I'm going to go with someone who was on the team recently, Travis Dye. So look, there are some nice running backs who made honorable mention, but again, you can only choose so many. Those are my three. If you want to pick four, you can pick four. Remember, let me know in the comments section what your Lendak USC football team is. Let's get to the offensive line. Austin Jackson was pretty good. So was Jacob Rogers. I'm going to go with Sam Baker. Big Sam Baker. Interior offensive line. And again, left guard, right guard. We can switch them around. But who remembers Deuce Latui and Fred Matua? They played on the same team. Yeah. Jonah Monheim, I think we got to slide him somewhere into this conversation. We got to do Elijah Vera Tucker somewhere, right? Andrew Voorhees. There's a lot of good offensive linemen who played at USC within the last 25 years. I know it doesn't feel like it, but if you go back through the years, USC has been okay. It's dropped off recently, but when you go back into those Pete Carroll years, yeah, they were there. At center, man, Ryan Cleal, Jeff Byers. What about right tackle? I think Tyron Smith, head and shoulders, first team, right? Who remembers Big John Drake? Dude was huge, massive. Wide receiver. This one was way, way, way too hard. And there are no wrong answers here. So I don't know. Maybe yours will match up with mine. Maybe they won't. BMW, I think you got to slide him in there, right? Big Mike Williams. 3-star out of high school. Most teams were recruiting him as a tight end. How about Marquise Lee? Okay. Dwayne Jarrett. Again, I'm going to go with a 3 wide receiver lineup. Think about who I'm leaving out of here. I didn't mention Robert Woods. Steve Smith. A lot of good wide receivers at USC. Jordan Addison. Drake London. It's hard, right? What about tight end? This one, I made it easy. My 2 deep, I'm going Alex Holmes, Fred Davis. Did I miss one? Probably. But Fred Davis, Mackey Award winner. Alex Holmes, you try and tackle him. One guy, I dare you. Couldn't do it. Let's flip over to the other side of the ball. Let's play a little defense. Defensive line, look, I'm going 4-3. This one was easy. Maybe not, but nevertheless, here's mine. Leonard Williams, Sean Cody, Mike Patterson, Lawrence Jackson. Again, I know others are thinking, Mark, you forgot. And what about, dude, let me know. That's my front 4. Okay. Linebacker. Yeah, not fair here. But look, I could have spent all day, and any 3 linebackers I throw out there, I would have been good. Here's my 3. Ray, Ray Mayaluga, Brian Cushing, and I'm going to go with Tuli Tuiapelotu. Yeah, didn't see that one coming, did you? But like I said, there's so many good linebackers. Didn't hear me mention Clay Matthews. I mean, Keith Rivers. There's just so many to choose from. My 3, Ray, Cushing, Tuli. What about safety? Again, my team is going to be really good. Your team might be really good too, but I don't know if it's going to be mine. I've got Matt Grudegood and Troy Polamalu. Yeah. NFL Hall of Famer, Matt Grudegood. USC Hall of Famer. Better be. And look, someone has to play nickel. I don't know. Who do you want to go with? How about Sua Cravens? Is that good? Sua was really talented. Cornerback. You're going to have a Dory Jackson on one side of the ball. That's for sure. You definitely have him playing boundary. Or what about Mekhi Blackman? T2, Terrell Thomas, Antoine Simmons. You need a 2 deep. You need a 2 deep. That's my 4. Adoree, Mekhi, T2, Antoine Simmons. I'm not going to neglect special teams. Don't worry. Tom the Bomb Malone is my punter. This guy was so good. He was on a USC team that was so good offensively. He didn't even qualify for the Ray Guy Award, even though he had the best average that season. Just didn't have enough kicks to qualify. And because we need a field goal kicker, and because he walked USC off with a Rose Bowl winning field goal, yeah, I'm going Matt Bormeister. So, who and what is beating this team? I dare you. Pick a team out there. You know what? What about that Miami team from 2001? I think they'd compete. They'd still get their butts kicked, but they'd compete. Let's keep it in-house. And the reason I brought up that Miami team, loaded with NFL roster. I mean, just loaded. Really good team. Yet they still lost to Ohio State in that championship game. But again, if we keep it on the house, which of USC's best teams, and I'm even going to open up the floor to this one a little bit further. 1972, 1974, 78, or 79. Those were USC's NFL teams. I mean, really, really good teams. I don't care which one of those you choose. And you could pick players from all of those teams and create your own. Maybe this game becomes a tie. But my team, it's still going to kick the doo-doo out of them. Sorry, just thought. Prove me wrong. I think you'll have some fun with this topic. Hit me up in the comments section. And also, if you like what you're seeing here on Locked On USC, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Hit that red subscribe button. Also, smash that thumbs up button and don't forget to hit that bell notification button. All three of those, you're helping the show to continue to grow. And I appreciate that. So thank you so very, very much. Get buckets with your first bet on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 if your first bet wins. Bet on all of your favorite NBA players and teams with. They got quick bets. They have live same-game parlays you can jump into. They've got exclusive prop bets and more. So just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and shoot your shot. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. So, excuse me. I'm going to do another my favorite recruit of the week in this segment before we get out of here. And I got a linebacker for you. And look, if the local linebackers don't want to come to USC for the time being, that's fine. Let's go get the ones that do. That's what Lincoln Riley did. And on Thanksgiving 2023, from Clarkston, Michigan, 2024 linebacker recruit Desmon Stephens II, he committed to USC on Thanksgiving. Here's what's so special about this. He took his official visit to USC 1 week earlier on November 17th. Obviously, he was sold immediately because Thanksgiving was November 23rd. He was committed. He was done. Ever since then, he's been getting to know this new defensive staff. And here's something else for good measure. He's an early entry. He's already on campus. He's enrolled. He's working out with the team. When he arrived, when he got to USC, I'm sure he's a little bit bigger now. He's 6'3", 225 pounds. And he said that the staff sees him playing inside. So Lynn thinks he's going to be a middle linebacker. Not bad, right? He's got the size for it. This guy was once committed to Boston College, and he actually passed up Louisville, Purdue, Michigan State to come to USC. And remember, this was before Lynn was USC's defensive coordinator. They didn't have one yet. Now, he did have a monster season in high school, his senior year. Here are some numbers for you to kind of go, ooh, he did. 88 total tackles, 9 for loss, 6 pass deflections, 3 interceptions. He also forced a fumble, and he recovered one as well. He can play offense. He's an athlete. He rushed for 614 yards on 64 carries. What is that? It's not quite 10 yards a pop, but it's pretty close. Pretty good, right? He also caught 26 receptions, 415 yards, and he had another 4 touchdowns on catching the ball. So that will get it done. So what do you have? You've got a run backer. Yeah, I just made up a new word, a run backer. You have a running back and a linebacker mentality in the same body. That's a plus. I know he's going to be tough as hell. I don't think you're going to hear any more coaches. Well, I don't think any coaches will make the comment about him that they made about USC that, there might be some players on USC's roster that don't like to get hit. That doesn't describe Desmon Stephens II. In fact, he was so good that he actually got to finish up his high school career in the formerly known as the Army All-American game. Once he completed that game, he headed on over to USC. And he started for his team in that game at middle linebacker. So he spoke briefly or a little bit about that final game in high school, All-American. This is what he had to say. What he enjoyed the most about it. Just really coming together, like building a bond with these players over this week. It's crazy how fast you can really build a bond with somebody and learn with somebody. So it was probably like the main takeaway from it. But it was definitely cool playing with my last high school game against some of the best of the best. So I look forward to doing that in college. End quote. So, rhetorical question. Why did a 4-star linebacker from the state of Michigan pick USC? This is what he said back in December. Again, when he spoke to WeAreSC.com. Going in, I told everybody, I knew they were going to have the top-tier facilities, top-tier equipment, all the glitz and all the glamour. And it's LA. But I really wanted to get a good judgment of the people. So getting around the players, they're cool, and they're people that I could definitely want to surround myself with the staff. They help Coach Riley and just everybody to build this team. And it's definitely somewhere I want to go for my next 3 to 4 years. Okay. Well, now that he's an early entry, he has that head start at a position that, it's been kind of a sore spot for USC, that linebacker spot, specifically that middle linebacker spot. And he sees an opportunity. Now, will he seize that opportunity that he can see in front of him? See what I did there? This is what he had to say. It's great for real. Our class is building this. Our class is building this thing back up to a national contender. It is great, and being in a position to make plays early is just a great situation to go into. So he sees early playing opportunity. He described his playing style this way. Remember, these are his words, not mine. Well, really, it's just that I'm long, quick, and athletic. So with me being so big, I can use my size to my advantage, but also use my speed to my advantage. And then just my mindset-wise, I'm relentless. So no matter who's playing on my field, whether it's my grandma, my little brother, your little brother, I'm just going to go crazy no matter what. All right. I have no problem with a guy who said, Grandma, you need to know what's up. Let's play. He was obviously having fun. I don't think he would knock his grandmother into the dirt, but it's that mentality that doesn't matter who's in front of him, he's going to win. And I also love this about him, that he feels this way, that he wants to see USC grow back into what he remembers USC when he was growing up. Quote, growing up watching USC with my family and watching that rich history build up over these years, some of my favorite players going there, it's just great to be a part of that tradition and try to make some more history. Yeah. That's why Desmon Stephens II is my favorite recruit of the week for this episode of Locked on USC. I've been getting some feedback, and I know a lot of you like this segment, and I will do a better job of not mixing up names with cities like I did yesterday. It was all about Jarvis Boatwright II. Today, it's all about Desmon Stephens II. We'll do more of these. So, until the next episode of Locked on USC, which will come at you tomorrow, part of the Locked on Network. Everyone, you know what to do.